It's just like the last guy I fought from Portavaca. He was saying he was gonna come over here and beat my ass on shit, and then I dumped him on his fucking head. So I mean, it's
God.
yeah.
To the Viral Watch podcast, everyone, the most controversial podcast on the internet with over 1 billion views on Facebook. I'm interviewing Brandon Genovese, and he has an upcoming fight this weekend. It's gonna be a big fight, sold out event, and we just kind of want to get his side and like what like how this fight came about.
This was like last moment. Like uh, I got asked to do this like last Saturday, I think. Like yeah, it was either Friday or Saturday. Peter hit me up, asked me if I would do it, and I told him I'd do it or whatever.
So
I just
last
barely I just barely found out we were doing some headgear and shit. You know what I mean? Like
oh shit, so there.
I'm still gonna fight. Like I told Peter, I'm still gonna fight. But if I would have known that, I wouldn't even have done it. I thought it was gonna be like some, like an actual fight. You know what I mean? I didn't
Yeah,
know this.
no.
This is like some safety shit, like some kid shit. But it's whatever.
God damn. Do you have any bad blood against your opponent? So like last minute fight, like I mean, do you know the guy? Is it just something that Peter
I
put
don't even
together?
know him, but apparently he said I was light work or some shit like that. But I mean, that's just I guess he's from out of town, so I guess he don't really know any better. It's just like the last guy I fought from Portavaca. He was saying he was gonna come over here and beat my ass on shit, and then I dumped him on his fucking head. So I mean, it's
God.
yeah, like he didn't he found out real quick. So I mean,
Yeah, I've seen you fight before. I've been to one of your cage fights. It was years ago. It was probably like 5, 6 years ago.
mhm.
And you're a beast, man. So like I'm honestly afraid for your opponent when he steps in the ring with you.
I mean this one shouldn't be that bad. It's really just like some sparring since we're gonna have boxing gloves and headgear and all that bullshit. I mean,
Yeah, but when you hit, you like I've
oh
watched you hit the kill. Like you're swinging.
yeah, that's why the only person I spar with is my coach because I can't really spar with like teammates because everybody's like, oh, go 50% or go 75. I don't know how to do that. You know what I mean? So me and my coach, we hit each other to knock each other out. So I mean that's why only me and him spar with each other because I don't know how to spar with other people, especially smaller people. I don't want to, be looked at as like a dickhead for trying to knock somebody's head off. It's like I don't know, like I don't, because if somebody hits me, like my reaction is just hit them harder. I don't know how to do that 50% stuff. I don't know how to do all that.
Is your plan to knock him out?
Oh yeah, that's how I plan to win. I mean, all my wins have come by knockout. So I mean, I'd rather just keep the streak going. Just, I mean, if he
Okay.
goes to sleep, whatever. I mean, if he doesn't, I mean, he got lucky. I don't know.
So this guy's from Houston. He's coming from Houston. Like, should he be worried? Like he's stepping into your hometown. Like this is a Houston. Like I feel like there's more of an advantage on your side when you're in your own stadium or your own hometown. Like I feel like there's a bigger advantage always.
Yeah, my last MMA fight was in Houston. I was fighting a guy from Houston. I fought him for LFA Legacy Fighting or whatever. Man, it's bad. Like coming over there, not being from there, it's crazy. Like it's totally different because that was like my sixth fight, I think, and all five of my fights have been here in Vic, and that one in Houston was horrible. It's just like you just feel the hostility, like you're not wanted there and shit. You know what I mean? So it's
Exactly.
like
Yeah. Like
it's bad. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, but I mean, then again, I mean, like I said, it's basically worth sparring or whatever because all this safety bullshit's going on with the headgear. So it's like he don't have too much to be worried about unless he's never fought in front of a crowd before. That'll eat you up too. Just that pressure alone will eat you up.
so you're saying Peter basically saved him by allowing headgear and all that kind of stuff
He saved him by like 30%,
by 30%.
but
Uh
the rest is just going to be pure pressure because it's like I said, if he's never fought in front of a crowd, I mean, just that alone will just break you. You know what I mean? Like, unless you got a strong mind.
what's your plan for the fight? I don't think they I mean if you want to put it out there, put it out there, but
I mean, my plan is to just punch this dude in his face until he gives up. I mean, that's it. Like I don't really. All these people talk about game plans and shit, but they never really work when you go into the fight. Like you can work on a game plan, but as soon as the fight starts, it's like that you don't even remember that shit no more. You just fight, or at least I don't.
Everyone has a plan till they get hit. That's what they always say. Yeah, that's what they always say. So, do you have a prediction? Like 1 or 2 rounds? How many rounds is your fight?
He said it was 3 2-minute rounds. So I mean, it's 6 minutes total. I mean, I don't know. It's like I don't think you could do too much damage in that amount of time with a headgear on and boxing gloves. I mean, if it was an MMA fight, I'd say he'd probably get put to sleep in about like a minute or so. But if this is a boxing match, so I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see how his cardio is. He might just knock himself out.
Wait, this is a boxing match? The event says tap or scrap.
Yeah, see, I thought we were gonna do an MMA fight, and then he told me it was gonna be boxing, so I was like, all right, that's cool. I guess I'll do that. And then I just found out yesterday that we were gonna be wearing headgear, and I was like this close to just backing out. I was like, man, I don't want to do this shit because it's like I like not disrespecting Peter because you know that's my boy.
For sure.
Just the idea of wearing headgear is stupid to me. I think it's stupid. Like I don't like it.
Yeah, I watched.
I don't even do that in practice.
I watched one of Jake Paul's first fights, and they had headgear. I mean, it just doesn't look the same. Like people want to see people bleed. Like that's the.
And I mean, it's just like I don't know. I mean, if this was like a charity event, like for kids or some shit, I can understand the headgear. But I mean, you're gonna be having drunk, random ass people out there screaming, wanting to see somebody get their fucking head knocked off, and it's like it's gonna be kind of hard to do that with.
If your opponent agrees, would you take the headgear off?
I'll take the gloves off if he agrees. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Like there's nothing he could tell me that's gonna make me not want to do this fight. Like he could tell me no gloves, or you could just tape our fists or some bullshit. Whatever. That don't matter to me.
What's one of the worst fights you've ever been in?
Worse, like being what? Like
worse, like it could be like you're at school, you got in a fight, you were maybe at a club.
Nah, shit. The worst I could say is back when I was in school, I was bullied a lot. Like I was real overweight. I had gap in between my teeth. You know what I mean? I had glasses. Everybody picked on me. I was bullied. Shit. Oh, man. I think I was probably bullied for like 8 years. Like every school I went to, I'd go to a different school all the time. It's probably why I know so many people. I went to different schools, even out of town. I would go out of town and I would just get bullied. I remember one time I went to school in Pleasanton, and I got jumped by a group of dudes. I don't even know who they were. I don't even know if they went to that school, honestly. But they knocked me unconscious, and I guess they were like, I had braces at the time, and they were like stomping on my face, or they had to have been stomping on my face because when I woke up, my lips were stuck to my braces. I had to pull my lips off, like, you know what I mean? I couldn't even open my mouth because it was stuck to my braces.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's fucked up.
If you ever seen one of those bullies like today, like would you still have like bad blood towards them, want to fight them, or would you just kind of like let it go?
Oh yeah, I don't ever let anything go. Like I mean, it could be 30 years from now. I could be 75 years old. If I catch you and I remember you, I'll smack you with my fucking cane. I know that. I ain't about to just let that shit go.
So what changed? So like you said, you're overweight, you're bullied, and then you're obviously not overweight now. Like what motivated you to just like, hey man, like I want to change?
Into MMA just to lose weight. I didn't really do this shit to start fighting because I was always scared of fighting. I never thought I could fight. I never thought I was like somebody who could fight because I got beat up all the time. So I was like, this ain't my lifestyle. I just want to lose weight. So, you know what I mean? Like people would stop messing with me because I felt like it was the weight or something. I don't know. So I got into MMA to lose weight. I didn't get into MMA to fight. And then my coach at the time was Nick Hogan and shit. He was telling me, you know, like maybe you should fight or whatever. So then Rod had a card coming up, the Ambition. And then I hit up Rod and he told me to jump on his card or whatever. And I was like nervous. I was like, I don't really know, man. I don't really know if I want to do all that. I don't think I'm cut out for that. And he was just like, man, just give it a shot. You never know. And then that fight, my first fight, I think that only lasted like a minute, like 60 seconds. I knocked that dude out.
Damn. Are you a different person when you step in the ring? Like does something click? Like you
Yeah,
seem pretty nice right now. Like you're calm. Like you would never expect you to be like,
yeah, I'm humble. I don't let this MMA shit go to my head. Like I know there's a lot of MMA people, or I mean, not even just MMA, just like people who train, like maybe grapple and boxers and MMA and all that bullshit. And like they walk around town like they're just the shit. Like, I don't get off to that, man. I just feel like that's just it's weird. It's like cringy. You know what I mean? I don't really get off to that shit. It's not really my style. I just like to chill. I don't really like to talk a lot. I just stay quiet.
you got to watch out for the quiet ones. The quiet ones will knock you out.
What they say. They say the quiet ones will hurt you.
I do got a question though, because like you say that like you don't like to talk a lot. You don't like to like, I would say like cause like an uproar scene, calling people out. Like, what's your like? So we take you, and then we take someone like Jake Paul, who's the total opposite. Like he's pretty much like a loudmouth. He's calling out everybody. Um, do you think that sells the fights, or do you think it doesn't really matter?
Yeah, all that talking and shit that sells the fights. But
Would it
um,
would it bother you? Like say your opponent, your next opponent, whatever, he goes out and he's like talking all this mad shit. Does that make the fight more personal?
nah, I mean it just makes him look more stupid when he sleep. You know what I mean? So it's like when he wakes up, he's gonna have to remember like what he said. Like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like that it wasn't a dream. I really said this shit, and I just woke up from this concussion. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to eat that shit now. Like I don't
Yeah.
really like if me and some other person were going back and forth. I mean, I'd probably say like a few words, but I'm not gonna get into all that crazy hype, fucking getting up, throwing chairs, and doing all this gay shit. Like just whatever. I'll leave that to the other people.
So you're friends with Paul Wall.
Hmm.
I like that. That is badass. Like how did y'all's friendship become about? Like that's dope to have like someone like Paul Wall, like everyone looks up to. Like he's like a celebrity. He's like you
Yeah,
know.
um, I've known Paul since before I was fighting. I met him at a car show. I want to say it was like 2007 or 2008 or some shit like that. And like I was real into slabs and candy cars and the swingers and all that stuff. And I seen him at a car show, and I showed him one of my cars, and he was just saying that that was cool or whatever. And then probably like a few months later, he was at another car show that I went to, and then I guess he remembered me because like he was like, "Hey man, I know you from somewhere," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I showed you my car that one time." And he was just like, "Oh damn, that's crazy." And then he was showing me like he pulled out his phone and started showing me some stuff. He's like, "Man, I'm about to build this car. I'm about to do this or whatever." And then like I noticed he was friends on Instagram with some friends that I'm friends with in real life or whatever. So it's like we had mutual friends from Houston. And then I just shot him my number, and I was like, "Hey, shit, just here's my number. Hit me up with whatever." And then he shot me his number. Like not even 20 minutes later, he texted me. He was like, "Hey, this is Paul." So I called it.
Damn.
"There's no way Paul just gave me his number." You know what I mean? So I called it. He was like, "Hey, this is me." Well, I was like, "Oh my god." It was that shit. That was it. It was just over some cars and shit. That's how me and him became cool.
No, that's badass. Like to be friends with Paul Wall. I see he's come to some of your fights before.
Yeah,
Uh,
he shares all my fights. Like he'll share like if my birthday is whatever, he'll post like a picture of me and him and shout me out or whatever, all this stuff. So it's like it's real cool. Like I used to like when I first met that dude, I used to be like starstruck kind of, but like now when I see like famous people and stuff like that, like it doesn't really bother me. I guess because like I've already went through that stuff with him. You know what I mean? So it's like I mean shit. Even for my birthday one time, he took me to Houston. It was me, him, Baby Bash, and Zero and Slim Thug. He took me to MMA event in Houston, and Dana White was there. They were doing that little podcast or that little TV show, looking for a fight or whatever. He took me there for my birthday, and then Zero came to me and said that Paul Wall showed him my fights, and he was just like, man, I want to see you fight in Houston and all this other shit. And Zero has this persona of like being like an asshole and stuff like that. But like, if you know him personally or know somebody that he knows, he's the coolest dude on the planet.
Dude, honestly, that's badass. Like, I would love to meet both. I've met Paul Wall once, but it was like it was in a Club Adori actually,
Oh
and
yeah.
it wasn't like you were there too.
Mm.
It wasn't nothing like hanging out with him or getting a chance to talk with him like that. But no, that's dope to have like a celebrity like by your side and shout you out. Like the following he has, like that can bring a lot of attention towards you.
Yeah, he's cool.
We do have a question from Facebook. Will you call out Peter Morales after this fight?
Call out Peter Morales. Hey, give me. I'm tired of fighting for free, man. Give me some fucking money. I'll do it. I'll fight anybody.
I thought there was $1,000 on the line. I saw somewhere $1,000.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Fight of the Night's gonna get 1,000, but they're not gonna give it to me. You know what I mean? Even if I was to knock this dude's head off and send that bitch to Cuero, they'll probably give it to somebody else. You know what I mean? Just because people will probably expect me to get it. So, I mean, they'll probably just give it to somebody else who fights harder or whatever. But I mean, that's cool. I mean,
I did see. Yeah, I did see one of your friends. He was willing to bet $1,000 on you. He said anyone wanting to bet $1,000. So if anyone on the other side wants to bet $1,000, I mean it's ready for grabs, and he's very confident in you to bet $1,000. Like no one bets that shit. I'll bet $1,000 on you.
I'm taking side bets. I'll take side. We could take side bets with his people from Houston, whatever.
Yeah,
we could do that too. I ain't driven. I'm with all of that.
I'm willing to bet $1,000 too. So if anyone wants to message me, message you, message your friend, like that's $3,000 bet right there.
And for whatever reason, if I lose, I ain't paying y'all shit.
Nah,
y'all gotta come out of pocket.
No, I will. Yeah, I'll come out. That's not in my pocket right now, but the money will be paid.
I just want to tell Peter, appreciate you setting me up for failure with this headgear bullshit, and that's about it. I don't appreciate it.
There you go, Peter. Here's your notice for a 2-day notice to get rid of the headgear before the fight.
Yeah, get rid of this bullshit. Or I might come up missing. I might just be at the house on the couch eating some fucking food or some shit. I might just skip the whole event.
What do you know about Thomas Moreno? I did an interview with him. I had several messages. I'm not gonna say who messaged me, what they said, but they basically said this dude's a fake fighter, and that I should never have had him on the podcast.
That name sounds familiar. I can't remember where I know that name from.
He's from Houston, Texas. He was supposed to be in a fight over the last weekend with the guy named Tim. I think it's Tim.
Oh, that white dude Tim. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know too much about him, but yeah, I heard. I know a lot of people don't like that dude. I don't know. I don't know what he does. I don't know if he burns bridges or talks shit, or I don't know what he does. I don't know too much about him though, but I think I heard of him though. Why is he trying to fight me?
No, but he might. I mean, he's calling out everybody. He's looking for opponents. He's.
Well, let him know. I got some spare time.
But he does backyard street fighting or backyard brawling. He's actually trying to set up a fight right now with the Tim dude on their YouTube channel. They do like backyard fights, and he's trying to get that set up.
I'm not into that kind of shit, but I mean, if he wants to like come to the gym, and we can go like at my gym at Victoria Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. There's a cage in there, so I mean, if he wants to fight in the cage, we could do that or whatever. But I'm not gonna just go to somebody's backyard. I was doing that shit back when I was fucking 14, 15 years old and shit. I'm not doing that no more.
No, I don't blame you. I wouldn't do that shit either. Is there anybody else on your list? Like anybody like that you like over the last few years? You're like, this motherfucker, I really want to fight.
I'm gonna beat up Derek Lewis. No, I'm just fucking with you. Nah, I know Derek Lewis. I know him. Nah, he's cool. Nah, I don't know. I don't really care. I'll fight anybody. I don't really care.
Okay.